Wearing my natural hair in the work setting at first was not easy. I remember the first time that I wore my natural hair to my current position at the visitor center. I was so nervous. I did not even want to walk in there. I was like, they're gonna be like, her hair doesn't look good. They're gonna just like notice it and not say anything about it. So I was really nervous. But I remember when I walked in there, they were so receptive to it and they were so sweet about it. They're like, oh, we love your hair, it looks great. This is one of my favorite styles that you've done.
When I wear my natural hair in my work setting, I honestly don't feel very different. I think it's due to the fact that I started to wear my natural hair before I ever got a job. So when I went into my job, I had already exposed my natural hair to everyone. So when I'm in the workplace, I don't really have any ill feelings towards my natural hair.
Honestly, I have like mixed emotions when it comes to wearing my natural hair in a work setting, mostly because part of me is like, oh yay, natural hair, like it's awesome, like it's, it works for certain instances or whatever. But I just feel like the individuals that I work with aren't used to me wearing my natural hair, so I just feel like I don't see a lot of women in sports that wear their natural hair, so it's not really like, I feel like it wouldn't be like something that they would like not support me in, but I just feel like people aren't used to it, so it'd be kind of awkward. So I have like mixed emotions. I know I'm confident when I wear it, but I just don't want to make other people uncomfortable like when I come in like that.
I think we are still fighting a battle with natural hair in the workforce today. Just again, an instance, if you look on TV, would they have on those in broadcasts on the news or commercials, it's going to be people that have hair like mine. They have weave that is going to be your body wave or it's straight, and not women in their with showing their natural hair.
We are definitely still fighting a battle in society regarding like natural hair. Like as I mentioned before, like in my industry in sports, like I feel like it's a constant battle off bat just for women to be in that field, considering it's male dominated. So we have to cross that first step before we can even get to like our appearance and different things like that. But I think society is evolving and they're trying to become more open about it, but I think it's just a lack of like ignorance because people think like, oh, like you have this type of hair one day and like you have a different hair the other. Like I think it's a constant battle of like, oh, this is, professional looking or this is not professional looking. It's just because people aren't used to seeing it. But I think the battle can be won if we continue to like start wearing it and make it more common.
I probably would not, as of right now, show up with my natural hair to an interview, just again from the standpoint of I don't think they would take me as seriously. I don't think it's something that is as widely accepted in the workplace just yet. Again, that's kind of coming from my standpoint of me just kind of like elevating and over-assuming, but I probably just, to be safe and to kind of like make them feel like I'm serious about the job, I probably would not wear my natural hair to an interview.
I think the thing about black hair that is not accepted in the workforce is that we don't look like everybody who is higher up in the workforce. Like earlier, back in the day, most of the people who had the important jobs and the good paying jobs were not people of color. And so like one thing other than our skin tone that obviously sets us apart is our hair. Like it's a huge difference because I mean, we can slick it back if we want to, but that's not how it naturally is. But they want us to look like them. They want us to look uniform. But like, if we don't want to look uniform, then we don't really have to. And I feel like that's intimidating to a lot of people because it does draw attention. And usually that attention isn't necessarily negative, but it puts a spotlight on people because of their differences, and I think a lot of people kind of want to, they don't want that spotlight being shown.
I think the fact that it's just like the curl pattern, I think. Well, I feel like it depends on what type of hair that you have, like your natural state, as to why it's not necessarily accepted in the workforce. And again, I think it just comes back to like people aren't used to seeing that. So I mean, like I think it's the fact that like it's out, like it's not what they're accustomed to. It's not pressed, it's not straight, it's not curly, like loose curls, So when you have like that 4C type or like just like me, like straight nappy, like it's a lot. Like I think that's just the main concept. Like if you keep it tamed, I don't see a problem with it, but I think people in the workforce just like that professional look, and it's always that like sleek, like, laid back type of straightened hair. That's usually what it is.
I feel as if the biggest step that black women can make to be confident in their hair in a work environment is Basically to fake it till you make it. Because if other people see your confidence, even if you don't quite feel it, they'll end up respecting it, even if they're not a huge fan of your hair anyways. And then after they respect it, maybe it'll help Black women respect it even more.
The different steps I feel that African American women can take to feel more comfortable wearing their natural hair to the workplace would be, number one, to just kind of realize that you are more aware of your natural hair in that state and that not everybody is feeling the same way that you are. So even though you may feel like you're making people uncomfortable, your hair is just crazy and it's not professional, a lot of people are not thinking that same way just because we tend to kind of like over assume, or we just kind of put like what we feel to be our weaknesses or our blemishes or things like that. We always kind of put it on a pedestal, and not everybody feels that way.
Learn to like block out like the opinions of others, because I feel like if you derive like your worth, your self-worth from the opinions of others, then no matter what you do, whether your hair is natural or whether wear a bright color one day, like, or if you just rely on the opinions of other people, like, it's gonna affect you. So I think first and foremost you have to like be willing to like go against the grain, like not really care about like what people think about you, and just be confident and bold and like who God created you to be, and like He made your natural hair, like wear it, rock it, be proud, and just do it.
I believe that mainstream media actually is starting to get to the point where they are ready for natural hair in any form. And personally, even looking recently on, even with March Madness, we saw people, the broadcasters there were actually wearing braids. So that's not exactly natural hair, but it's a hairstyle that you typically would not see for a broadcaster. And then also, even if you look on TV, some TV shows, a lot of them are starting to be from people, like if you look at Shonda Rhimes, she's kind of like in her shows, she will show people that sport natural hair. I think that's like honestly a staple for How to Get Away with Murder, when she takes off the wig and she shows her natural hair. So that's something that typically would not have been present in earlier years, but now is kind of starting to be a trend. A huge, I feel like something that really plays a part in that is going to be social media. A lot of African American women, African American men are starting to create pages that represent themselves and what we would like the African American community to look like.
It's more of an emotional thing more so than spiritual, because I feel like I know that God has created me the way He has, and like He gave me this hair texture, He gave me this hair type, like all of that, and that's of Him, and I have to accept that. And I think it becomes more emotional or just like more subconscious is when you start like thinking about the opinions of other people and how they'll respond to it. But yeah, spiritually, I don't think it's ever really affected me, because like I know like through the Word how God has created me. So like dealing with my hair is not really an issue when it comes to like my spirituality. But yeah.
When I cut my hair, it did affect me like spiritually, because of the fact that it forced me to have a little bit more confidence. And so that confidence spread over to more areas of my life than just like being confident physically. It just kind of helped me stop caring about what, not completely obviously, but stop caring about what other people think to a certain extent, because of the fact that when I cut my hair, it was not for everybody else, but it was for me. And so that's how, like, living the rest of my life with regards to decisions that affect me, it's for me and not for everybody else. So I think that was the biggest effect that me changing my hair had on my life.
So if you take care of your body how you take care of your hair, that is good hair. So it doesn't matter if it's the specific style that society wants to put on a pedestal, that's okay. You love it, you rock it, and you're comfortable in that. And I think just by owning it and having that confidence that goes along with it is what shows people that you have good hair.
According to my own standards, good hair is healthy hair, like point blank period. I don't really care what texture your hair is. I don't care if it's up in a bun. I don't care if it's like down your back. As long as it's healthy and you're paying attention to it, I think that's what good hair is.
Good hair, to my personal standards, is just well taken care of hair. Like, I mean, like it could be like out in an afro or whatever, or it's just honestly whatever makes you happy. And like for me, like good hair for me is like, I like just a clean look, whether it's out or I have a weave or whatever. Like I just want a clean, good look. So like good hair is just like you take care of it. You put the right products in it to make sure it's healthy. Like that's good hair to me. Is like when I like take my hair out, like it's not brittle, it's not frail, like it's healthy like hair. So like to me, good hair is that is hair that's like taken care of, and it doesn't have to be like sleek, straight. I love afros, like I respect it, but I probably wouldn't wear it, but like I respect other people that do. So as long as it's like comfortable to you and like it looks good and it's healthy and it's taken care of, because that's mostly what's important.